Happy New Year. Hey, sư phụ Happy New Year. Hey, chưa đó. Cho Happy New Year ní là. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cho for sure. Happy New Year.
How are you?
Hey, good. How are you? Nice to see you.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't see this year?
No, not this year. Rest a little bit.
Hello, Happy New Year. Yeah. So it's not gonna be fun day. Tuy nhiên bạn is gonna be in C2 or Chunguli?
Yeah.
Oh. Xin chào các bạn, Happy New Year đó. Các bạn nak kanya dong lah. See you again.
Make sure you come tomorrow.
My husband was
我哋有時用佢水奶油，就係中咗進嚟我哋俾我哋將咗有嘅VIP 啦，係啦呢而且分享咗呢日就係乜嘢 VIP 啦，你單就攞送攞油。
So excited to be here this morning to see the most beautiful people in the world and the smartest and the most resilient of all. And I'd like to call our elected officials to join me as well. I also want to thank all peace officers that are here with us today. Your work is very valuable, and may you be safe out there. We keep our thoughts and prayers with you. My speech will be rather short, and I don't know how long Majority Leader Murphy will be speaking, how much time she'll need. But I brought a few friends with me. Uncle Charles, Dr. Peter, why don't you come up? I want to showcase Senator Rarick too, and Representative O'Neill. And those who I call to kind of stand up with me, because we get elected, it's not just like pop up, you know, we get elected because of the people. That's why I want to encourage Uncle Charles, Gayeng, you too, and the citizens to come up. Joanne Clark, if you're still here. And since my speech is short, I want this time to kind of hand the mic to our elected official and just have them introduce themselves and what district they represent. Let's do that. So perhaps the non-elected official can get closer to from behind me, and the elected official can. Okay, all right, that would be just fine. That would be just fine. Okay, I'll handle the mic. But before I do that, I want to give grand applause to our pageantry of passionate, the talent young women that will be showcasing talent tonight and tomorrow as well. 俾唐伯地咗俾咗齊個左右，等我啲人俾啊。唐到中到中俾咗佢都齊佢冇得說中，佢冇只用手整個西路西班，整個佢用個做，佢整個佢下個冇個聲。 Rong Sha trong lời chụp itu đang cầu căng cầu vái họ ha chụp song ha bên nhau cái này ok thì we came a long way my brothers and sisters so yeah what did you just say you're my friend so what just introduce you to
接受不一样的这么严，那让不要 Dr. Peter
Uncle Charles
Bianca Vernig, Egan, Mendota Heights, Mendota.
How was your vacation?
Representative Amanda Hemmingson-Yeager, South Maplewood and Woodbury.
Oh, you had a good time.
Representative Peter Fisher, North Maplewood and Little Canada.
Representative-elect Hulda Hillsley, Brooklyn Park and Osseo.
Representative Kaufley Van Hao, Senator Murphy, the Representative Detroit District. Senator Aaron Murphy, District 64 in St. Paul.
one of keynote speaker.
Hi, I am Representative Liz Lee from the east side of St. Paul. Hello, Neng Xiong, we are Ramsey County Commissioner Neng Xiong, who represent east side St. Paul.
St. Paul City Council Member Shaniqua Johnson, Ward 7, East Side St. Paul.
State Representative Christine Purcell, Northfield, Lonsdale, Dundas, New Prague. State Representative Marion Rarick, Monticello, Maple Lake.
State Senator Jason Rarick, counties of Pine, Carlton, Knabec, St. Louis, and Chisago.
Joanne Clark, Progressive Baptist Church. Carrie Johnson, Progressive Baptist Church and the community.
nhớ rằng sau cha thằng này cho từ của lúc bé của cái những yang cũng chú họ người chỉ chờ kiến hiện hiện là sự của President Biden appoint của oi to Commissioner cho Equal Advisory Committee của President's Advisory Commission on Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. Lúc đó của trong sáng hè, là President Biden sang ý trang tới tôi phỏng vấn mong cho biết thằng này cho từ trong sáng phỏng vấn ở là thị trường của hà ở chồng.
nhớ rằng trong chuyện lúc bên của Neng Xiong, rằng gia thiết của những thứ bảo chuyện được phỏng vấn campaign.
nhớ rằng trong chuyện là trong chuyện này của Stephanie là công nghệ vì những cái đồ California Club của tôi cũng đi lưu và chấp nhận là trong chuyện.
nhớ rằng sau khi nó sẽ ra tôi đã phải cao sinh công việc của nhà sẽ ra phòng tôi là sister bishop phòng office.
Cái gia đồng sẽ sống chia của lúc bây giờ của thọ nhau sinh thực phòng hay thực sự thiệt.
Hello everyone, Chandra Herb, volunteer with Senator Phong Herb.
nhớ rằng everyone của lúc bây giờ có ra sinh hai ở volunteer too.
Okay, thảo bây giờ tới một để cho phong yên hay cho supporter xuống lên sự tư nó. And Happy New Year once again, and may go on and on 2025 and beyond. Today is the greatest day of all because we are here celebrating our annual tradition of sending away bad omen and receive blessing from elders for the new year. Our young gathering with songs and dances along with pride, with courtship, and ball tossing, which is uniquely Hmong. Someone told me, a scholar told me that ball tossing was part of joint culture between us and one ethnic minority in northern Vietnam. And I don't know whether that ethnic group still exists or not, but I know that through trial and tribulation, I thank heaven that one of the indigenous people, which is Hmong, still survive and still maintain our culture and language, including the ball tossing. If you can find other culture that doing courtship through ball tossing, let me know. But I think ball tossing is uniquely Hmong, and later on I'm going to go try to. I want to encourage all of you, Joanne, Carrie, Majority Leader Murphy, you and I are going to do ball tossing, okay? Ấy trong là gì? Phong như cho lâu cho mình dùng sụt lờ. Ý trong có luôn lì. Sở môn tao một trở. Là bên mong nhìn chỉ nó kháng bên lưu cha bên cho. Rồng sáng nó nổ. Phủ sụt lờ tặng tổ luôn xứng xì. Ô ràng. Rồng gạo chín ràng á. Ở trong đó, khả năng cảm ơn cả là cho người nhau trụ board lên mì khu hát đầu thực khảo có trình trang của lù hạ ấp bên lù. I'm so honored and I was surprised, I was taken by surprise too when Dr. Kao called me and said, Senator, we want you to do ribbon cutting this year and may you be one of our speaker. I'm so honored, and I can say bluntly that, and also truthful as well, that 2025 is my year. The reason I say that because next year would be the year of snake, and snake will bring us great prosperity. So 2025 is my year, and 2025 is also your year. And I will say, convey the blessing in Hmong later on in 2025. Ấy trong mong sụt lời trong chat đã tô lời. Cụ thọ của Neng Xiong chi. Yêu yêu lúc xong trong cho sụt lời. Giờ Neng Xiong chi yêu trong lịch cha. Là cụ cha xa hay cụ thọ của mẹ cha xa cho cụ. Cứ giờ mấy tụi tổ sở chế cho bê xế State Center nhắc cho sinh miệng sự tà nó Ta cứ yêu nhón cho trải mê Cứ yêu chỉ nó căng mê Cứ yêu lưu mê là cứ lưu tàu Hay cứ yêu chỉ bù mong nền bông căng Thọ của biết số lịch sử châu sao, khứ châu sao ổn định. Xong nó luôn trả lù. Giờ yêu dù bên mong lưu học bảo. Yêu dù bên mong lưu học bảo. This year's theme is Remember Our Roots. And earlier, President Mi Van already elaborated and talk further. I don't know if I can mimic her delivery earlier, but I can certainly try to some degree. It's great timing as we go into 2025, which will be our 50th anniversary of Hmong arriving in our great state of Minnesota after escaping government persecution due to our commitment to help American democracy during the Civil War in Laos and the Vietnam War. Our commitment, our sacrifice, our bloodshed, that America should remember. If you don't remember, I'm going to take your job to the highest level that I can. And many people had died. Chỉ cho xong thấu lịch sử nano nổ bên mong cụ vàng mình lần đầu cầu lúc xong từ bên mong vàng mình là ý kê ai cụ tôi hàn họ nói ý giả thâu lù tàn đầu cụ bù thật thật cầu lúc xong giờ bên mong trả luôn đây ổ nha trong chùa lưu đây chờ nó 被梦是烧，就跟着地nhau，人查好路，人查给帮助，个路道有都听见呢。cầu lúc chúng ta đang cứ dọn lên cầu sông bây giờ cứ nãy gì áo tô thằng lên năng hoàng tôi dù lúc tới chờ nó mà lên cần tới ta mà lên lu ô nào ô gì mà lên lu băng cho lò mà lên lu xài lu mà cho mong muốn này cũng lấy y tế để tôi làm chỉ tôi bây giờ xong bây giờ chúng tôi tới chờ nó là lúc xưa là cho những thằng nào như là thái tây trong cờ lúc rồi bên này cờ rồi xiêm khang cờ rồi nông khai cờ rồi thằng đó bằng một chỗ thằng khó bỏ là cờ rồi但是只有当cờ ấy tăng mong này họ sẽ bây giờ tao mong cứ nhon này thằng nào chỉ tôn chủ bên nhau ở bên lúc rồi chỉ một chính sang cô là bây tôi chỉ sau cái nhau cho sinh命sự ta nó bây chẳng thể ôi lúc số bây giờ sai đầu bây giờ nọ cho chú bây giờ sai đầu cũ bây giờ sai cho tao ổn định cũ bây giờ sai cho cứ lỡ cũ căng cứ tại số cứ tôi số chỉ tăng nữa là tôi chỉ hà trong nó cứ bên mò gì đồ nhau cho tỷ chế kinh chỉ hà county commissioner lên mai trong Neng Xiong City Council một chỗ James Booth cho nó sự thông tin cho mình cả nó bên môn tàu rồi so cho thế thế nó chế cho cứ sở chế của bê sinh thế ra nó giống một mèo bê sinh từ thơ thế但是也没吸收vì bên nhau chúng ta chờ yêu pay để chờ democracy bên chỉ nhau chúng ta chờ vang dữ ở bê sinh sai bê mong thà bố tết lên đủ có lúc tết chờ nó nhau ta tù nhau có một cái thay nhân sinh ấy gì mình sử dụng hay gì mình ô có một trong đồ dùng gì cho dạng vấn đề để tốt làm gì tôi bao trầu xong tôi làm mình bù the history center bố là we all Hmong mình bù bê tông tài sĩ bộ lộ chương trình I'm counting on a selection of 10 years, each 10-year progress. And when we arrive at the 40th year, is when the city of St. Paul and St. Minnesota finally recognize us for the first time. Our contribution to the United States of America, our contribution to the state of Minnesota, our contribution to the city of St. Paul, and our sacrifice, the sacrifice of our elders. Because at the History Center, you see a poster, large poster, of 3 young, beautiful Hmong girls. 20 years earlier, the front page of National Geographic, you also have a picture of 3 Hmong girls holding each other, but they were scared, they were crying. And in our 40th year, 10 years ago, History Center displayed the brighter light. We are cheerful, happy again. As you can see, our young boys and girls were dancing here this morning. And then we arrived, confronted with COVID-19. But Hmong community thrive once more. Big quân trí kế Hmong kênh cứ phổ thông căng đủ này từ căng mọc COVID. Đó là bên một chú mong, bên một bình sự chủ sĩ để tuần xài cứ cho bên lúc công về một thông căng đủ này bên tuần xài tạo chỉ chắc ý xài tổ của xử lý xa lý họ phải một để cho người ta nó chỉ có những tốt lành sư cứ cho bên lúc về một thông căng đủ là thông tin cho nó bên cũng một iron chef nhà vàng dìa vẹn
cái nhà sang hủ là sang sao là
bên cũng một power lifter James Vang, a little guy but carried lots of weight, a record holder. Bekumo motorcyclist champion, Aiden Tao. I'm just giving a few examples. 被英国就喏，只下叫个古莫我样子，喏，这个是被英国到好要好跳，我当过都唱到那边都莫叫 commander， 人家做 law enforcement， 被人家做好跳，被反面就说，那是被反面บอกเลยจ้าโมเจ๋งบอกเลยจ้า被这叫路，被这刚力给ใจ被这保平，路晒唱好被包。As fast as we become part of American mainstream, as I just identified a few examples, a few celebrities that were out there with name recognition like Sunisa Lee, gymnast Sunisa Lee, Iron Chef Ye Vang, motorist champion Aiden Tao, and weightlifter James Vang, all mainstream, including our elected official, including myself. As fast as we are part of American mainstream, the faster we are losing our language and culture. As much as I am a proud American of Hmong descent, my language and culture are disappearing. And everyone has a responsibility. Every Hmong person has a responsibility. Every friend of the Hmong community has a responsibility. Our state has a responsibility. 被从你是多么费脚，被么费脚，都被叫路，被么费脚，都被叫去抄，被么费脚，都被来保平。我养到的，没有上老干的，被路好的路。Why is it important? There's many reasons why it's important to keep our language and culture. Knowing our language and culture can trace us back our history. But a few times, I use language as an example. Language of the mainstream or national language like English is the language of commerce. And I always encourage young people to speak the national language, learn the national language and speak it to the best of their ability. But learn two additional international languages, whether that is Chinese or Spanish. But do even better in preserving your Hmong language. And Hmong language is not a language of commerce. We do need language of commerce to survive. If you're in China, if you're Hmong in China, you need to learn Chinese. If you're Hmong in Thailand, you need to speak Thai very well. If you're in America, you need to speak English very well. But those are language of commerce. Hmong language and indigenous language are language of the soul. The language of love, the language of kinship. And when the language of commerce, the language of diplomacy fell apart, they are counting on us the language of love. We all have responsibility. One more thing, and it's more directly right now. Why is the language of love and kinship, the Hmong language is important. Just think about all of a suddenly you have food on your table. You didn't expect that food will arrive just like that. It's all because language of love. Itu Hàn mong chơi tu Hàn mong chơi tu. Mấy tu nhang sen rơ cứ khao là. Nhi ở tu cao số. Nhi Hàn Trung Quốc ta được họ cứ khổ mong trọng lợ. Giờ họ cứ đại. Tu yao nó một tu lu nửa. Tu lu rõ một tu lu rõ lu nửa. Tu lu rõ một tu lu rõ lu nửa. Nên càng cả số mong lúc bằng lúc chế số tụ chế tế bộ mình nhau rủ ra họ được khá trong của quý chủ lưu mong nên sau lại chỉ có một dạng dưới cho lúc khá ta lộ sai tàu biết khó trình chính biết khó rộng nó một trình có lấy chẳng and I will do my best. As the chair of legacy, I appropriate funding to preserve our indigenous language and culture. And I put dollars in to help preserve Hmong language and culture. And it's only in America. It's only America. I like to say this so other countries where Hmong people live know that government have responsibility to help preserve language and culture. When we do that, you see police officers, law enforcement up here, Hmong descent. You see military men of Hmong descent. That's where we're willing to put our life on the line to protect this country. That is why born and raised in Laos, came with broken English, still have broken language, but I'm proud to serve America. And furthermore, let's not forget our stories. Let's also remember our revered leader, Jiang Wenpao. He's not here today, but when he's here, every year, he's here as a military man, encouraging people to love one another, encouraging Hmong people to love one another. And I'm here sending the same message to all my fellow Hmong men and women. And I'm going to say Hmong. How bên nó xin lúc how xin chế. Then they will join one day. May we continue to love one another. Sau nào căng bế răng hồn trổ. Sau nào căng bế lấy kinh cử. Chỉ cho trong thâu lộ. Bế nà bế chí. Mê tu mê yờ. Chỉ kết sắc kiến trái. Chỉ kết lúc kết lộ tổ. Chỉ kết quốc kết nhà. Chỉ kết á kết lâu. Kết chọn nhảy bộ hình trạng. Bế hải nênh tổ lần đầu. Sau nào căng bế bố. Sau nào căng chô chú xa. Cứ thao lờ, chô chú xa cứ một dọn trang bộ tế chờ. Bây giờ lại tàu tổ cho tên tế chẳng nó. Thảo hậu chú dạo khu tu trò tôi dàng. Bây giờ tàu tổ nhau cho tế chờ yu pen. Tế chờ vàng mình này nó. And our roots did not start in Laos. Our trail of tears go back hundreds of years, thousands of years, that no nation, no country recognized. Our trail of tears from northern China, Beijing, to southern China, and 300 years ago, due to agricultural And during the Opium War, conflict between British and China forced us to migrate south to Laos and Thailand and North Vietnam. Ấy trong mong rất là cho nên ở bên đó lịch sử để tôi chủ nên còn tôi chủ lúc sau bên thơ tôi mong tôi帮助lúc sinh viên sư đàn tại sao điều là vang lên chỉnh nhauแต่是每日phải làm每日推動夢幫助到成嘅時候我都透啦都不然其實比較難日子嘅後邊多怎麼抓住了是 Those who carried us on their back crossing the Mekong River show us from harms are now less than 10% of the Hmong population here in Minnesota. May God continue to bless them, and may they continue to be in good health. And we are so blessed too, that in the first time of our history, we have 5 generations of people, of Hmong people living in one household. What kind of blessing is that? We have to love America. Lưu cho lâu, chơi cho lâu, chơi cho những thứ mình nhỏ cũng đang làm vòng nó của cô một cái chân của chị, chỉ cho nhà bản địa bớt sợi, dù lỗ tàu nhót tàu họ trồng hàng lỗ họ lưu. Sẽ môn là để chú ý ôn đau dạng thang sớm mai chuyển kinh lên cho video của ta mới ôn nó của biết sẽ lên chậu cho lô chỉ hàng có chậu cho lô sư của biết sẽ lên lưu tàu lô and Hmong American community of Minnesota Hmong community will continue to contribute for the greater good of Minnesota. Because we love Minnesota. We love Swedish, Scandinavian, Irish, African American, Somali, just as much as you love yourselves. So thank you for this opportunity to address you guys on the podium here, to everyone here. Ở trong đầu của mình muốn lúc sợ nó trong cú hảo bên lulu cho nên ngầu chi. Ở thọ của nên ngầu chi, giờ đi xong vô trong số này số tu, có cứ cho lâu của tông tàu, có biết cho lâu, chúng một số sản tế nó ăn nhau rồng, có biết cho nạn giật gì, một cái xin lưu, ý lệnh phủ ý lệnh, có biết tên lộ. Chúng một cái cỡ sắc cỡ chê lo như vang bê sinh phố phử bây giờ tu làm tu lộ bây giờ làm lộ bây giờ còn hù của tờ bang gì sang gàng mong luôn nên chủ yếu vấn đề ở trong tàu thông đã với chế lúc microphone nó cho Majority Leader Aaron Murphy cho nên sau của giáo lưu đó chỉ một tăng Dr. Cao và tăng của tàu share opportunity vô hù của nhóm tu lộn chạy lộ về tàu chủ lưỡi tụ thẳng ha, sau đó là về tụ khi về tàu một bỏ con chủ lưỡi tụ thẳng ha, cho lông xịn chỗ này cũng là tàu một dù cho lông xịn chỗ thẳng ha, dù cho lông xịn lá thẳng ha, cho lông xịn lá đó, tàu chủ lưỡi lên lưỡi tụ thẳng ha, sau chủ về chế nên thẳng gọng sư, có chủ, có bé xí bao, có cái xí trồng rồng, thật chỉ nhau bé lúc cha bé chồng. So thank you everyone for listening to me. Delivering my short speech bilingual, that's why it's got long, because it's bilingual. And may God bless you all and happy Hmong New Year to every one of you. I will pass my mic to Majority Leader Aaron Murphy.
It is my profound honor to celebrate the 44th Minnesota Hmong New Year together with you. My name name is Erin Murphy, and I am the proud Majority Leader of the Minnesota Senate. I pay my deepest respects to the elders who fought for our democracy and freedom and made more possible for all of us in America. I am honored to be alongside the leaders, the 18 clan leaders who are here in this room, and I am proud to serve in a legislature that has more Hmong American representation than any legislature in the United States, any one of them. You just heard from Senator Fong Her, but let me also add the names of Senator Susan Pak, Senator Tu Xiong, Representative Khalil Her, Representative Samantha Vang, Representative Ethan Cha, Representative Jay Zhang, Representative Liz Lee, and Representative Fu Lee. Each of them, Democrats, and bringing the aspirations of the Hmong community, of our businesses, for our children to life within the policy-making process, because together, as we have in the past, together we will build the future that we wish for, that we dream of, and that we deserve, by bringing our voices together in the democratic process of making policy. That is why I'm here today, to make sure that we are connected together. And let me say on this very, very happy New Year that we have important work together to do. We will walk forward together into our future, fighting for and working for your and our prosperity, for our families and their well-being, for the culture, for our businesses, and for the democracy that serves each and every one of us. I am proud to serve alongside my Hmong American elected representatives. They are an important part of our legislating, and on this Happy New Year, let us celebrate them and celebrate together. Thank you so much for having me today, for allowing me a few minutes. I wish you the very, very best. Thank you.
OK， 我撞到了，我撞到准备做一次都弄哎，鸟用手拆，撞帮手在那路面还回去那旁边的上去都讲，我蒙语是那个给那走路得看咯，我撞到。
Thank you. Happy New Year. We are here as members of the Minnesota Republican Party. I want to especially thank Shiloh for your friendship and long connection to the Republican Party. I want to thank you for inviting us. And I was introduced as the former minority leader in the Senate, which I was, but I'm also currently the chairman of the Minnesota Republican Party. I have with me some additional speakers who will make a few comments, but before that, I want to recognize my former colleague in the Senate, Senator Fong Her. He gave a great talk earlier about the importance of language, and it is important. It is the God-given gift that we have that allows us to communicate with each other. Now, I don't speak Hmong, but I feel a deep connection to the Hmong people. When I was very young, I served in the United States Army, spent a year in Vietnam, and I was grateful for our Hmong allies. And I am grateful that they have chosen to come to Minnesota, where they have been such a strong community in the fabric of our state. So I want to wish you all a Happy New Year, continued prosperity, and I now want to turn it over to the Senior Advisor to President Trump, Taylor Ram.
Well, good afternoon, and as Chairman Hahn said, my name is Taylor Ram, and it's an absolute honor to be here today celebrating the new year with the young Hmong community. And as mentioned, I want to wish you all a Happy New Year, and it's an honor to be here as a senior advisor for the 2024 campaign for the 45th and soon to be 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Thank you all who voted for President Trump, as he won the electoral vote and he won the popular vote, but now he will be the president for all Americans. On behalf of all Republicans, we will never forget the sacrifices the Hmong people made for the United States of America during the Vietnam War. And that's why President Trump signed the Hmong Veterans Recognition Act in honor to allow the Hmong to be buried at the National Cemetery. For 4 years, President Trump made America a strong nation. He made the world a peaceful place, and he fought for all Americans. And now he gets to do it again. Under President Trump and the Republican Party, we will unite around building a strong community and a strong economy for all Americans. We will continue to support legal immigration like many of you in this room and your ancestors before you came to this country legally, while also securing our southern border and making sure we keep America a safe place. We will always support our men and women who serve our country and keep us safe. We saw all those amazing law enforcement officers who stood up here on this stage. Thank you all for the sacrifice you make for our great state here in Minnesota. We greatly appreciate you. And finally, we know under President Trump, we will have world peace, because that's what we had for 4 years under President Trump. And in fact, we're already seeing nations across this world coming together, saying that they're gonna work to end the wars that are going on. And that's because they know America, once again, is about to have a strong commander-in-chief back in the White House. America is a nation of hope, a nation of legal immigrants, a nation of opportunity, and a nation of greatness. That's exactly how President Trump will keep our country, and he will work for all Americans. On behalf of all Republican leaders and the President, may we leave all the bad omen in last year, and may we bring blessings and fortune and hope into this new year as we welcome in the new year. I wish you all a happy new year. Thank you for having me. Together we will make America great again, and we will make the world safe again. God bless you all, and happy new year.
Thank you, everyone. Again, I'm Senator Jason Rarick, and especially want to thank Chairwoman Vang. When my wife and I got the invitation to attend, we knew that we needed to come represent the Republican legislators in Minnesota here. We also serve as the co-chairs of the Taiwanese Friendship Caucus, and we know and understand and want to continue to grow in that understanding. Both the Taiwanese and the Hmong cultures so value their freedoms, and that isn't expressed any more than what we've learned about the SGU. And I want to thank Senator Herr. He was one of the very first senators that I met when I moved into the Senate. And that was one of the things he made sure I knew right away, is how the Hmong people had sacrificed for America. And I have such a deep appreciation because my father served in the Vietnam War. So I want to thank all the SGU veterans who are here. It is very special knowing that you were there supporting and sacrificing for the American soldiers. And Minnesota is very privileged that you chose here to come to. Your sacrifices and the contributions you have made to Minnesota are so much appreciated. And I want to end just by saying, and I also want to say, Senator Herr and I have worked on a number of things together, and my wife has worked with Representative Herr on a number of issues across the aisle, making sure we can show that support for the Hmong community here in Minnesota. And again, on behalf of the Republican legislators, as our opening ceremony expressed, we wish all of the bad omens to dissipate and go with the old year, and we wish you all the blessings of the new year as we again celebrate this very happy new year. Thank you.
we leave, I'd like to introduce our National Committee Man, A.K. Kamara. I'd like to also greet you this afternoon.
How's everyone doing? You guys sleepy up there? You guys ready to celebrate New Year? Yeah, you're kind of halfway there. I get it. My name is A.K. Kamara. I'm actually the Republican National Committee Man. That's a fancy way of saying that I represent Minnesota's Republican Party interests to the National Republican Party. So I know I don't look probably what you think the average Republican looks like, but that's why I'm so excited to be invited here today. The Republican Party is more diverse than it's ever been in its history. And I want everyone in this auditorium that hasn't ever attended a local Republican event to just think about going. I'm not saying that you have to pledge allegiance or anything like that, but just see what it is that we actually have to offer. It's not always as scary as it seems. Our group is more diverse than it's ever been, and in fact, this past election, 48% of Asian Americans actually cast their vote in the United States for President Donald Trump. Because people do believe, as Taylor Rom was explaining, that we need to make our country great again, safe again, and make sure that we do everything to empower every American economically. And so I just wanted to say thank you for the invitation. Let's have a fantastic Hmong New Year. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Neng Xiong. My name is Eric Kwan. I'm the Chair for Outreach and Inclusion for DFL. Chairman Ken Martin sends his regrets. He's not feeling well today, so I got the honor of being here today. I've been touched in many ways by the events today. I moved here from Washington, D.C. 7 years ago, and Hmong community's been my family, and there's a reason for that. My family came from China to Hawaii 150 years ago, and we weren't really immigrants to America. America came to us. And one of the things that happened was I acquired my culture, and I still practice my culture. For example, I throw away all my rice today. It's last year's rice. Tomorrow I refill with this year's rice. So I replace it with this year's rice. I'm deeply vested in my culture, and that the Hmong community has helped me to continue embracing that culture. So there's something that really touched me this morning. One of my roles in the state is I chair the Public Safety Advisory Council, which is associated with the Post Board. And law enforcement knows about us, but we're the link between communities and policing in the state of Minnesota. One of the challenges we have right now is staffing the police and recruiting more officers. Among all the groups, the Hmong have answered the call. They've risen to the call for service. My grandfather was in World War I. He served in the Navy. My father served in World War II. He was in the Army, and he received his Congressional Gold Medal last year. It took 80 years, but it got to him, and he's alive, and he's well at 102. America, it catches up. It just takes a little longer. So I think that's it in my comments. I just would like to wish everyone a Happy New Year. It's going to be a great year. We're going to have a lot of prosperity and more jobs, and hopefully more of us will find time to spend with our families. And with that, Happy New Year. I'd like to pass this on to Representative
Neng Xiong.
we State Representative Gong Li Bang Hong, Real How Belu Chobei Nazi Hmong. I'm State Representative Kali Vang Her, and I just want to give a few remarks. As the DFL party, I just want to make sure that I reintroduce my colleagues who are here. Representative Peter Fisher, Representative Christy Purcell, Shaniqua Johnson, who is our City Council member in St. Paul, and Representative Mary Frances Clarity, and Representative Liz Lee, who will close up with wrapping up with the remarks. I just want to say that this Hmong New Year is especially important to me as I reflect on these last 50 years. I came to America when I was 3 years old. I was from the first wave of immigration that came here, and we came in the 70s. My grandfather was a colonel in the Secret War. Neng Xiong, I think that what is extremely significant for me being here today was that I think about the footsteps that we are following in. Not only was my grandfather a colonel in the Secret War, but my grandfather was also the first police chaplain in the country, serving in the city of St. Paul. He proudly carried his little ID. I think he also tried to use to get out parking tickets or speeding tickets as well. But you know, my grandfather, he never talked about his service to his country, whether it was in Laos or whether it was here. He was a very humble man, even though he was very big in our community. And I think about the fact that he understood what this country could bring for us, what the opportunities would mean for us being here. And so as a young woman, being the first generation to grow up here, most of my peers were getting married when they were 14, 15, 16 years old. But in my family, we were told that education was our way to prosperity. That if we studied hard, that all that this country has to offer, that we would reap that benefit. And so I went to college, and the year that I went, there were 11 Hmong girls at college, because we were not allowed to leave our homes until we got married. And I didn't understand back then what that would mean, and that my sisters and I were just going, and it was just this year that I learned that the first 4 women who became engineers in this country, 2 of them were my sisters. That my older sister was the first Hmong woman electrical engineer in this country. My younger sister was the first industrial engineer to get her master's in engineering, and that the other 2 engineers were also, Hmong women were also women who went to college at the same time we did, and we were all friends and family. And I think about that against all odds that I am standing here today, and that we are here together celebrating going into our 50th year, and that in addition to the things that this country has offered me, I have been given the opportunity to make this country and this state a better place, to serve as a state representative here. I represented District E in St. Paul, in the Summit Hill, McAllister, Groveland area, and I am so proud, and it has been the honor of my life to carry on the tradition and to carry on the legacy of Hmong people serving their communities and serving the countries in which they are a part of. I'm proud of the legislation that we passed this last 2 years to better families, to better children, to better our communities, to invest in our businesses, and that I could not be more proud that I get to do all of this as a Hmong woman. And I happen to be a state legislator, but I will always be a Hmong woman serving this community and this state and this country. And so I look forward to celebrating 50 years with all of you in the future, what it can bring. I hope that for our young people that we remember that this country, there is no other place like it. And that in 50 years we have surpassed any of our ancestors' dreams. And for you to always remember that you are their dream and what is to come, you get to decide a legacy that you get to carry on for them. Thank you so much. Neng Xiong, Representative Liz Lee will close us out today.
Neng Xiong主持人ELE 高级包海不要State Representative Liz Lee 都係我俾路米加嘅嘢一股係我俾路motivation要一度在某樣嘅高級啲啊，但是嘛，我想討論咯，比較年紀上的要俾一晒到爸爸的股晒落我啲偷偷忙在忙了偷忙了時嘅俾空一晒實在的要沙一晒
cái mà mình mong thấy mình tu học đào chat的是嘛，比帮助我鸟被调米干了，最最上的，古有的是到英文中的，被都还能到我了的是嘛，啥别没还掉需要呢，要需要了，就被读被爬 Democrat 了，被读 Chairman Ken Martin 多，不能你去西宁，你在去多比那个被看到呢，在多把开的那时候还的比莫被阳光到英中央被觉得是莫就 Democrat 把头被这把被然后新闻是了呢，你都把我的用把了呢被到chỉ của mày là ba bây giờ sẽ là xử lý muốn nhập vô rồi tôi chỉ mình dùng cần là bây share ok thì giờ thì chỉ mình dùng cho cái này giờ là sinh hoạt thế nào ok thì đi anh chị thở còn là cần là bây share là tại sao nó biết đâu chế nhà là cho chế đâu nhà xong cho phá đó là nó cần là vô rồi sẽ là chúng ta là biết đâu chỉ của mày có mình dùng cần là tàu Shu thế tàu China bữa đó để chơi cần là có thì mình ở trên một cái tàu là trong cái cần là tiệm tàu không được trong đó là như mấy lúc học kia lúc bé mình là cho nhận gì hơn nhiều sự vấn đề của sau nó của bé mình đâu bây giờ cũng tốt cho ok lúc sáng bé mình hay thì trong nói bên cho bạn trong hay thì bên có nhỏ của sinh viên là chỉ cho trong đó vì mua cũ mua cao thì theo mua center phòng her người chúng nhau nó là để mà mình đã đi từตัวลูกจงลูกขมิ้นตัวป้อนเนี่ยดีใจเลยป้อนเนี่ยเราจะกลุ่มของห้องชุดก็ไปป้าจะเหนียว要这ทุกคนตัวเนี่ยเขาสิ่งที่สำคัญก็ย้อนจงให้เดียเป็นตัวเนี่ยเขาไปทำในการเนาะจุดเดียวตรงเลยไป到把头สิ่งที่สำคัญอีกอย่างคือเท้าไปเท่结果还没得操背头一样的是被还得accomplishment เนี่ยเขาสิ่งที่สำคัญ知道的ก็别没有单人家比还得个奥林匹克个单人个还得透过OK 我被就上那可以透过政府我邀请好 Washington DC 我好了被追到被到了西海几个买个第二要做我被了透过 Arlington National Cemetery 呢在开那边在那里说的还得比我被từ yo Bassertin yo Alaska na di mo nu trong被他到比还得yo了do Senator Lisa Murkowski ni yo do chief of my na okay in yo do trong被个还他托有 Democrat 即係 Republican 咯 chief of my 那個比較都仲冇政府俾到呢 OK 嘅別的面上係嘅都有比我有比較冇有 Alaska 有就 Lisa Murkowski นะ半年的你有 Republican 的是嗎？唔總統啦，你家些係嘅比較全巴冇嘅，即係都值得學過埋啦，亦別個啲包啊，一點了車一你係比我有 Bassertin 啦 ，OK？亦個啲包家些係嘅，主要係嘅對我都覺得說一摸就係有得他就係Alaska 嘅，或者全國嘅啦，亦個包呢比係嘅Washington DC 比較做比較 Democrat 嘅，可能有一開正經做比正經可能嘅，嗰啲包裏面咧，所以係嘅，覺得比較美國係接觸到嘅啦 ，OK， 亦都係咁並唔止啦 ，OK。So I just wanted to close out by wishing everybody a happy New Year and sharing all of the accomplishments that we were able to, fight for our communities here in Minnesota and also across the country. I worked in Congress during the first Trump administration, and we actually got a lot of really good bipartisan work done. And so I know we're up here as a DFL in Minnesota, but it is also my hope that we will do a lot of more bipartisan things for the community. I shared that in the first Trump administration, Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican from Alaska, was the one who pushed for allowing Hmong veterans to be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. And so I want to make sure people understand this is a bill that she has introduced for years, and it took bipartisan
like they have nothing stopping them. So just, talking a little bit about what is important, and I'm really hoping that we can all work together in DC to pass policies that actually help people. So with that, talk about Asia,
OK。哦，就中文内涵。OK。
cho nói cho thật cho cái dòng thật cho cái chuyện game cho bây giờ các cổ mong á cho sinh cho bán cho bờ giờ tại bây giờ mà cho bắt thành sinh nó kì我来还有被人看那个因为那些用嘞有来做讲做样下面也被摸崩了我呢被摸叫我来还一路买了我准备是叫他准备就bắt thành没啥上来讲how do you token particularly come from a United Hmong family that more men it's because of you guys that's how we all come to be right so thank you so much cho men so and so do and young Jason chúng tôi young Jason chúng tôi ít từ chữ sĩ nên nó chỉ tại nó là hai điều của chúพ่อแต่sao bây giờ Jason cho tôi lại ha cầu gì sinh là sao nhà bố nhớ nói chuyện nói chuyện bố nói nhà bố chỉ nhớ nói chuyện là bên lăn lăn là bố sát sản chứแต่สิ่งที่จะnói là choนะcho bé chỉ học của nhớ cho sẽ miễn số là cho bán phục cho bây giờ sinh đó cái số một là naจะการพูดแต่อีสานจะจอใช่ไหมอีสานจะจอนั่นชอบจะหนัวจะเราจะอวดจะเป็น community นะ okay these guys deserve a lot they do a lot for community for your group for my group they do so much and so thank you so much that their effort that they're able to help us so thank you okay and what you done thank you so much no one bet your leader okay
OK， bây giờ thay cho là一节省呢，对了，是的，我还没弄，天都自己做了，我求你要做到呢。